This week has been kind of a challenging coding week inside of Unreal Engine, but I kind of hit a couple of roadblocks and pulled my hair out and came back to it and figured things out and got it to work. And really, I have to do a shout out for the sound effects guy and Brian Michael Fuller and Dan Reynolds and people that have put out YouTube videos to help pave the way. Was able to learn a lot from watching those videos, at least as a starting point for my thing. So let's go in it and start it. Let's play the game. And let me get it over here. And what I've done is I took some ideas, having talked with Moggs, and those ideas are making kind of a simple user interface. On the left hand side, it'll have the types of things you can interact with in the studio. And we still have these things, the models to interact with, but it'll probably change. Instead of actually clicking on things inside of the thing, if you click on the model, it'll just bring up these screens. That's kind of the approach, I think, going forward. I go in here, and let's say I click on a looper, and the looper shows up here. And of course, the looper starts in the setup screen where I could choose different sample packs. Right now, I've loaded 5, and Techno and Techno 32 are really the same samples. One of them has got fixed samples of 32 bars long, and the Techno one is my first approach where I had samples of different lengths. And I just wanted to test if that would work, and it does. And then a blues, rock, and jazz looper as well. So I could change things if I wanted to here. But I'm going to leave it. It defaults to the techno looper, so I'm going to stay there for this demo. And if you click on the various instruments, it brings up, things loaded off of an array that has the loops identified in them. Right now, these are fixed into things I've loaded. I will probably provide down the road a screen for users to load their own samples, but not in the first generation of this. So what will happen is I'll click on if I click on the sample, let's say techno, it'll start a techno drum beat. Up here it's showing which bar it's playing. So this is playing bar 7, bar 8, and it plays 8 bars with 4 beats per bar, so it really plays 32 beats. And if I go to bass, I can add a bass to it as well, and so on. And you've seen this a number of times. I've tied it to the mixer, and if I click over here on the left hand side, the mixer, the looper window will go away to be replaced by a mixer. And then the mixers, I will place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, and so on down the road, probably today after I have this video. But I can, for example, lower the bass. I know the bass is on 2, so there's the bass. The drums are pretty strong here. I can even bring that back. So as you can see, I'm in real time changing the mix. And I can do that for each one. And the thing is, if I click back on mixer, it remembers what I had set before. So let's just do a lead. It doesn't really matter. That's a cracker. And again, I know lead is out here on 6. So that's kind of how it works now. And if I click back on the looper, it goes back to the looper, and it remembers, what I've selected. So I can stop the looper playing. And there, it's still got some messages on there, and then I can close the window if I wanted to as well. Now, that's kind of how all this works, and it's also gonna I'll integrate the keyboard, so you've seen that before, so I can have the looper playing, and I can also go in there and play things on the keyboard. So a lot of work to get to that point, and I'll do a quick kind of here's what it looks like, the different components of it. It's got all the samples are loaded in arrays. The the main controlling program is a looper, and it's the most sophisticated one I've written, and it's using the Quartz engine system, and it's grabbing its samples from Metasounds. And so let me stop it. And so it's looks, yeah, it's pretty complicated. But the point is that it's got a bunch of active tracks. It's got 42 tracks. One of the things I didn't show, let me go ahead and show it, is you can mix. This is kind of set up so I can do things like a drum machine. So if I go in here and if I look at that looper and I look at the drums, I can do each row replaces. So if I'm doing a conga 3, it'll do a conga 3, but if I want to replace that with some tops, tops, I can click tops and it will replace it with electric tops, or some bit pressure claps, or a conga 5. So that's kind of interesting. But if I go back to, let's just put some tops on there. So I've got some tops running. Now what happens is each one of these rows acts kind of like a mini track. So I could have a kick track down here and say, so now I'm going to have tops and kicks playing together. You can hear that. And maybe I want to add that with a ride cymbal. So I'm going to stop. So basically what that does is showing that is just to let you guys know that, it's got, I can have, for the drums, I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different drums or drum samples playing. And for the bass, I could do the same thing, although that would be kind of silly. But the fact is I could have 42 loops playing, or I could try, although that will probably wreck everything, that number. But so that's what I got done this week. I will be cleaning all that up this next week as to end my sprint, integrating it with the keyboard, integrating a master volume, and that's all new stuff in UE5. I'm using the ability to control what are called or called modulators inside of Metasounds in order to make all this happen, the real-time control of the audio. So that's this sprint up to this first week anyway.